Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Just going to get through some news items here. China buys 3 cargoes of beans. Trade is optimistic of the deal, but there's other articles that probably puts a little bit of caution on the rare earth as maybe a stumbling block. So let's get into it. COFCO purchases three cargoes of soybeans prior to the meeting, which is probably a good thing to show good faith. But COFCO is the one of the largest grain buyers in state grain buyers in China, and it also has said it could potentially take up to 8 million if things do really work out and they could fill up the strategic reserves. They like the North America beans to fill the strategic reserves because they store better, thicker seed coat, you name it. Trump announces breakthrough. This is just follow up of the same story. But what I did highlight here is just what South Korea is kind of agreeing to as well. And this is the point that Canada seems to be giving up billions of dollars of investment because they're just leaving and going to the U.S., where some of these countries, because they're not borders, they are actually committing funds. So here they committed 350 billion investment fund and into a 200 billion in cash to be paid in installments of 20 billion, and then 150 billion is going to be spent on investments of shipbuilding, of which South Korea said that they would help Trump. So this is where they be wary of the U.S. trade deal, and maybe I'll highlight this as well. This is back on July 11th. Our deal with China is done, subject to final approval with President Xi and me. Relationship is excellent. Well, that didn't happen, right? So just be wary. But you can see that even in this right here, that the exports and imports even had just fallen off a cliff. There's virtually a third of where we were, just even, or half of what we were last year, and maybe a third of the highs. United States China have reached a preliminary trade deal ahead of the meeting and ease fears of trade collapse. However, past experience suggests caution. Previous deals have fallen through. Recently, China imposed extra controls of rare earths, prompting the U.S. to threaten 100% tariffs on Chinese goods following the talks in Malaysia. Both sides agreed to delay China licensing regime for rare earths and reduce U.S. tariffs. While the White House is optimistic, China remains cautious. Investors should be wary, as this deal may only postpone deeper issues. The rare earths market, though small in value, is critical to the global economic output, and both countries are likely to use the deal to strengthen their positions for future tensions. Geopolitical struggle has entered a more dangerous phase, with trust between the U.S. and China eroding. Despite this, financial markets have remained optimistic, with the markets reaching an all-time highs. The upcoming Trump-Xi meeting is seen as a placeholder deal rather than a comprehensive solution. Here's the rare earths and what they're currently valued at. You can see here 12 billion right now, and what it's used for: magnets, phosphors, lithium batteries, glass, auto catalysts, polishing powders, diesel engines, fluid cracking, and just moving forward 9-10 years, and it's going to be worth 37 billion is estimated. So a quick look at the weather here. Tropical cyclone Melissa has crossed Jamaica and causing all kinds of rainfall in Cuba. This is just a quick visual here, but it's doing a lot of damage down there for sure. There looks like there's a shift in weather pattern. The jet stream seems to be moved a little bit lower, which likely is going to create some drier air shifting in the southern U.S. We got rainfall over here, so that's going to delay some of the harvest if they're still ongoing. The snowfall expected, just beginning of the month here of November. There's going to be some hitting in Saskatchewan for sure. Oilseeds, or the markets, canola is down $1.60, so $623, and rapeseed is up a couple dollars. Soybean oil down a third of a penny at $49.90. Crude oil, West Texas, is at $60.38, so I think that's the same as yesterday. Soybeans down 5.5 cents. Spring wheat is up a penny, and the Kansas and Chicago are down a penny. January futures, you can see it's how it's traded sideways and continue to do so. The 100-day moving average is kind of getting close to where the market has traded, but it hasn't traded through. And when you look at the November of 26, chopping sideways, we're making lower lows. Still like to make some sales at the 670-ish market. So if we're still at 669, I would still be looking at some sales there for the first 10 to 20% if that's up your alley, if you wanted to get some sales made, and knowing that you've got a lot more yet to sell above that, right? Rapeseed, it's broken higher above the 200-day moving average. It's right at that 50%, approaching that 50% retracement value. The current market value difference between European rapeseed and Canadian canola is at $141, priced in Canadian dollars. So that's a pretty good value for differential. Should find some export market there. Soybean oil, it's actually getting really close to that 200-day moving average again, and there's a pivot extension line here that it's right at that 200-day moving average as well. I'm not certain which direction this one's going to move here yet. And soybean oil will probably give that a little bit more direction to the canola seed as well. Here, your soybean futures, it's a little off a little bit today. Created this gap, of course. And same thing with the meal. We got that gap there as well. Getting back above that $300 a short ton. And beans and meal are a lot more related than the oil, as it's only 11%. Crude palm oil is falling apart here a little wee bit, and up against the 200-day moving average there. The crude oil, it's moved back up again, but still relative good value there, lower value, and the Canadian dollar's kind of followed its suit. The US dollar index has moved up over this last month. And if we're comparing this to the Brazilian real, so is their dollar. So less competitive for sure. Here's just a zoomed in view of what the spring wheat has done over the last week. So last week is here, but we've gotten a little bit of a leg up, but it's only 15 cents from its lows right now. Kansas, the same thing with Chicago. And the milling wheat has done absolutely nothing, maybe even pulled back a little bit. Corn futures, though, right at this 432 200-day moving average, and it doesn't want to close above it. So if you close above there, it will give you some upside move, probably up into the 450s for sure. That's all I have for you.